Question number 3b. Question number 3b. This read as follows. Discuss how organizational decision-making differs from consumer decision-making. 10 marks. Discuss how organizational decision-making differs from consumer decision-making. There are two types of customers. You have got organizational customers and you have got individual or consumer customers. This question is asking us to discuss the difference between the two. One of the differences is that of people involvement. When it comes to consumer decision making, individuals can make decisions all by themselves. They may not need to consult anyone. As long as someone has the money, they can make a purchase. Whilst when it comes to organizations have got an established decision-making unit, and this, for example, will include users, approvers, gatekeepers, financiers, and others. So one of the differences between organizational decision-making and consumer decision-making is that of people involvement. And to repeat, when it comes to consumer decision-making, there can be no involvement at all. But when it comes to organizations, there's always involvement of others. Another difference between the two is on the quantities that are purchased. The quantities that are purchased. It must be understood that the decision-making process for organizations always leads to purchases in bulk. Purchases in bulk. While consumer decision-making always leads to purchases in small quantities. So because we are purchasing in small quantities, that is one of the reasons why, going back to point number 1, there can be no involvement of other people. But when we talk about organizations, because we are buying in bulk and spending so much money, there's going to be more people involved. So one of the differences between organizational decision-making and consumer decision-making is on the quantities that are purchased. Number 3, the length of decision-making. For organizations, decision-making takes long, and this must be understood. That way you not complain and say, they're taking too long to make decisions. That is the way it works. Organizations take long to make decisions, whilst consumers, individual consumers, do not take long to make decisions. So the decision-making process for organizations is typically long, and the decision-making process for individual customers is short. Number 4, customization versus general specifications. In most cases, organizations may need products that meet specific specifications that they would have come up with. This does not apply with individual consumers. With individual consumers, a laptop is just a laptop. But with organizational customers, they may want laptops which meet specific specifications. And this is one of the differences, that when it comes to individual consumers, when it comes to individual decision-making, customers can make general purchases. But for organizations, when it comes to their decision-making process and the end thereof, they may require customized services or customized products. And number 5, the nature of purchases. With individual customers, purchases can be at impulse. You're walking at Levymoor, East Park, you see something that you like, you have the money, you can go ahead and purchase it. But for organizations, all purchases are planned. It doesn't matter, even if the business may have so much money, it will not proceed to make a purchase if that particular purchase is not budgeted for. So these 6 are what a student should have provided. It may not be exactly in the order I have given them, and that doesn't matter, but the principles of each one that you present should be at least similar, or they must be the same. You could pick on any 5, or even 6 is okay. And for each one of these, you could be accorded 2 marks. What I want to say, and I'd like to emphasize at this particular point, is that the topic of consumer behavior is such an important topic that you need to know and understand.